Wherever you're watching us from, my name is Alex, your host with the mostest. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's early morning for everyone here who's in Boston and it's freezing cold, but thank you for watching us wherever you are watching us from. Please take a moment to share the page with somebody else who you think would love to, just engage with us and communicate with us or talk to us or give us some kind of advice and interact with us as well. Today we have a very, very special program. It's a program that is close to my heart, and I talked to the wonderful lady right next to me who I'm going to introduce to you in a few minutes, and it was so empowering and it was so powerful that I wanted to share this with the whole world and just get a lot of Ugandans talking about this issue, get a lot of Ugandans engaging in this issue and doing what they can. Last year, 2018, was a year of giving back. We saw so many people trying to get the little money they had, the little money they made, and trying to do something for themselves, for Uganda, for politics, and you guys were engaging in so many things and you wanted to help in whatever way you wanted to, but you did not know how, and you did not know who to help, how to help, where to help, and you didn't have those resources. But this is why this show is so important. This is why the Campfire talk show was established, just to bring those resources to you guys, bring that information to you guys, and have you know about all these outstanding ladies and gentlemen out there who are doing so much with the little they have, and you guys can be a part of that too. So for now, I wanted to just have these ladies introduce themselves and have them talk about what they want to talk about, have them highlight the issue they're going to talk about today. I'm just going to give you a small introduction. Right now we are talking about, if you have seen the flyers online that I shared, the flyers that have been going around about an autism dinner, we are talking about the big issue concerning autism in children, and not just in children, in Ugandan children, and in children, children in Africa as well. We don't want it to just stop at Uganda, but we want Uganda to be the start point of what we're going to do, and then it can spread across the land. So back when we were young, if I can take you back for a few short seconds, back when we were young, we used to see these kids on the street, or you used to see a kid who was drooling, and you would walk the other side, you'd cross the road, but we didn't know what that was. We didn't know if that was a disease, and if you're in Africa, you think it's a curse of some kind, or we always attribute it to witchcraft. But we have, now that we've come to America, now that we've crossed boundaries, we are a little bit enlightened with what's going on in the world, and we hope that these ladies can also shed some light on what's going on. So before I go any further, I'm going to have these lovely ladies introduce themselves. You may have seen them somewhere, you may go to church with them, you never know, but they're doing so much for that community. So disregard the last comment. It's just but you never know, they're doing something wonderful, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So without any further ado, I'm going to have these lovely ladies talk to us. Ladies, thank you so much for waking up early in the morning on this cold day and interact with us and just be in the moment. So I want to just introduce yourself and who you are, and then in what capacity you're talking to us, and then we can continue with the show.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everybody who's watching. And I'm so glad that you're watching. My name's Susan Gakwab-Kwizera. I live in Los Angeles, and I'm so happy to be here. I work with children with autism, and I'm an occupational therapist. And I'm so happy to be going to share with you about what I do here and also back home in Uganda. Thank you.
All right.
My name is Lydia Natolo. Originally, I used to live here in Boston, so I'm glad to be back home. I live in California, Irvine, and I'm a recent graduate from University of California. I am Everything Incorporated. I'm a child of Uganda, but also I love science, I love health. I just graduated with a degree in biology and political science. But also I'm a social activist, and many of you who know me, you've seen me all over the world. And I also have my own nonprofit where we're working in a hospital in Kumi, one of the most impoverished communities in our country, Uganda. A hospital that did not even have water, and no electricity sometimes, one doctor serving 250,000 people, the reality of our people. But I'm here actually to support my friend Susan, who is doing an incredible job. She told me she's going to be here in Boston, and since I'm here, I'm coming here to just share the reality of our children back home. But also, as our dear hosts say, that back home we look at these children and we're like, what is wrong? So I'm so glad, Susan, that you're taking up the mantle and taking care of our children. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. You have had those powerful ladies in describing themselves. So let's just jump right into this amazing and wonderful, well, it's a big topic, but it's such an amazing job that they're doing. So let's hear what they have to say, and let's see what you guys have to say as well. Feel free to interact with me online. I will see your comments. I'll see your advice, anything you have to say regarding what's happening. Our producers will be showing some photos for you to see the work that she's doing in Uganda and what other people are putting into what's going on in Uganda, and we're going to have her describe, what's happening, describing everything that's happening for you guys to see, and see what you can do, and just let's be in the moment and just enjoy what she has to say and listen and just take note. All right, Susan, it was so good to talk to you yesterday. Yes. We talked extensively about what's going on. You shared with me powerful testimonies, and I want you to just talk to us about what autism is, why you feel so strongly about it, and how can we recognize it. I know there are so many people in America right now who have kids and who are suffering all these symptoms, and they don't know what to do. And it's supposed to be a moment of joy when you have a child, but when you have a child who has special needs, it takes on a different meaning. So just walk us through what autism means for you and why you took on this mantle, and so that we can get a brief history.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alex. I'm so glad to meet you again after too many years. This is a very sensitive topic when it comes to autism, but I'm glad that I'm into the field that I think it's one of the passion I'm passionate about. And I started working with children with autism in 5 years ago in California. But for me, getting into there, I did not even know what autism was. But I found myself there, and I believe that the seed of that was in me. And growing up, taking you back, I lost a sister at the age of 27.
Wow.
And, to me, I was very young during that time, and I didn't know what was wrong. I used to see my mom, struggling with her, no medication, nothing. And, I kept on watching and, of course, being sad, but not knowing the cause, not knowing the disease, and no medication for that. So, at the age of 27, we lost her. And, of course, life continued. I didn't know, it was an issue. So when I came in America, 15 years ago, I didn't know that I can be into this field. But down the road, I started working with ladies, who had children with special needs, autism. And that's where I found myself starting now to know what autism is.
Autism is, yes.
Yes. And down the road, after 2 years of working there, I went back to Uganda, and I started now noticing these children. Now, because of the experience I had here, the exposure, knowing what I'm doing, so I related it to those children back home. And I met some parents who were really desperate, and I had to sit down with them. I had to talk to them about what they're going through and giving them hope. And they were so happy. And that's how my journey with New Life Foundation started.
So I'm gonna go back and forth between, because there's so many things we want to handle: Uganda, Africa, diaspora. So we're going to go back and forth.
Right.
So let me talk to you, Lydia. As I mentioned, I watched this documentary that was posted online. I think she's a member of it. It's the SCOW, the Save the Children Africa with Autism Uganda.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that when parents, yes, they said it's a moment of joy when a parent has a child, but when you have a special needs, because of the culture and the way we're brought up, the first thing they think about witchcraft. Oh my God, it's a curse. And even if we're here, to be honest, again, even when we have parents here who have been, they've open, their eyes have been open, the first thing is like, bananga nyandoga. You know, and they already know that bananga it's autism. It's the first thing is going to be, someone is doing something for me. And you know, they go to church to pray, but then they're also sending money to their singer to go to some witch doctor to do something. So you you are trying to create this awareness in regards to health, and you're trying to run for vice president. These are things that I'm going to push in your corner. How can we sensitize people? How can we get them to come out? I am going to be honest, I've gone to some people's houses and I've seen these children. I've seen a child who, you know, displays the exact, and this is a Ugandan, and you can see she's suffering with, she goes to church, they don't talk about it, but everyone knows that her child is a special needs child. But they're not talking about it. No one is talking about autism. No Ugandan is talking about it except her. What are we going to do? This is something that I want to know regarding.
Totally, and thank you so much, Alex, for mentioning that. Yeah, I am literally coming out. I started this Sunday that I'm running for vice president for UNA, and I believe that we need new ideas, we need new faces in our organization. And I always say that beyond all the books I've read, there's this one book that I love, which is the Bible. And the Bible, God tells us in the Bible that our people perish due to lack of knowledge. And what does that mean? And I think it is such a sad reality that there's so many people who know what autism is. You know, there are so many scholars in our country, in Uganda, but they don't, I think, encourage and educate our people. And when you talk about when a woman gives birth to such a child, the first thing they go to, you just say it is abalogo. You know, so they spend money to go to the witch doctor or dagala, and that medicine is not actually going to help the child. And I think there's so many traditions that have killed our own people. And even those who have come to America, we still hold on to the old traditions, the rituals that are not even helping. And also we come from a world of polygamous families. I was born in a big family. I'm the last born of 28 children. You know, my father had 5 wives, you know. But I'm so grateful that for us, we did not get into that kind of life. But these things happen. I can't say that all my family members don't practice it, but I've seen it, you know. But also we know the reality that these diseases are there. So for me, what I want to bring in UNA, and this is even beyond UNA, this is something I've been doing. I go to Kumi too, and somebody will be given medicine. They will literally not take the medicine, but go and get those herbs, which are not working.
Which is not working,
So we need to educate our people. We need to have healthy communities. We also need our people to understand it's okay to seek help. If you give birth to a child that has some abnormalities, this is what God has blessed you with. And it's okay to go seek help. It's okay to knock at somebody's door. It's okay to say, I don't know what I don't know. So you
And what Lydia talked about, these people need knowledge beyond anything, beyond money. You know, we have a mentality of thinking that money can buy anything. You can give someone money, but they don't know what they're going to do. So that's why we are emphasizing on awareness of autism. You know, before even we get into money, yes, we need the money to help those children, but we need to speak to the parents. We have to be on the same page, the parents, the caregivers, and, you know, therapists and, you know, researchers, so that we can make a difference. Autism as autism has no cure, as we, you know, speak. So it's the, you know, coming together and look at what we can do. They have their special skills. We develop those skills. Even the non-verbal children, they have the way they communicate.
Yeah.
You know, I have over 6 children who are non-verbal.
Yeah.
You know, the parents brought them to the center, and I'm telling you there's a big difference. How do we do it? We have speech therapists who come every day. You know, they train these children. Wow. Now, God has blessed us with iPads. You know, there are so many programs you can put on those iPads for those children.
For those kids, yeah.
So when we call up people, especially our African people, and that's why I'm so excited about the Pan-African Conference, the first one, you know, in Africa. We are over 40 countries coming together for the first time, you know, and it's not that we have money, but people who are in diaspora and those who are Africa, actually it's people who are here, you know, Kenyans, men and women who believed in that. Some of them don't have those children, but they have the heart, like myself, to help out. So they put together, they called up Africa, come, let's do this. And in that conference, we have therapists, we have doctors, we have researchers, you know, we have educators. And that's why our dinner tonight is about getting some little money, go home, at least be able to take these children, the therapist. We all know our Uganda the way it is. You know, education, I mean, kids are there, no education, but they want to go to school, they have no money. So I have like 5 therapists who I want to invest in so that they can go back and help others. So pretty much education, we are into, you know, spreading out the awareness, teaching. You know, you cannot tell someone, you know, someone's kid autism. So what is autism? Okay, some people think those children are cursed, are bewitched, or babagamba omukazi ayina ebisiraani. Because most of those mothers, you know, are single women. Abami baabwe babalekawo because of those children.
Because the child,
So, and it's not their problem.
Yes, totally.
Because we have them here, you know, in America. I work with the Uleria Foundation, a big organization in California. With rich people, children. But it's not that they're cursed. It's not that the mother cursed. You know, that's how the children came out. And because of them accepting those children, they put 100% into their lives, the same way they do with other children, normal children. So these are the things we have to teach to our people, that these are children, normal children. I always take time when I go back home to sit with the parents. You know, I take time, speak to them, educate them, and let them embrace those children. So it's very important to speak out. And, you know, I really thank you that, you know, you're speaking out, even if it's your first time to hear about autism, and this is how we do it.
And it's good that we were pulling together, because I think women are doing so much, and this is, like last year, this is going to be another year for powerful women to come out and do something. And if the Campfire Talk Show can do their own part, and it doesn't have to be so big, but the little matters. And as she's talking right now, she's calling to order all of you guys who are out there. It's very cheap. It's $1 a day could help somebody in Uganda. $1 a day could, because $1 is what? Mutwalo gumu Uganda or
I really need to share this.
Because it's really very, very cheap for you to do the little you can. That spare change that you always have on your account, you can send it. To we are going to make sure that I get those organizations, the organizations of where we can send this money, and you guys can do your little part. Do the best you can. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be making a lot of money to help out. But $1 a day can go so much far. Can do so much to help out. You talked to me about a lady who walked by your compound, this organization yesterday, and I think that would be a powerful testimony to share. And then I'm going to pass a question on to Lydia. But I want you to share that with everyone who's watching, so that they know the extent of just the help that they can do and how big it can help out.
There are, you know, you're talking about money, $1, but I think when you have the heart, you know, you can give what you have. And this lady, lives in Tinda. She has a restaurant near the center, and she's been passing by, and she would hear kids crying and playing, and she's like, I want to go inside and check it out. So she went on the website, she checked the website and the phone number, she sends me a message, and she said, I want to go inside and see how those children are, how can I help? And you know, I've been praying because, you know, when you're not back home, you cannot manage everything. So I've been really praying over changing those children's diet from posho, beans, you know, into
nutritious foods.
It's been on my heart. So here comes the lady. She went in, you know, they welcomed her, the children loved her. And then, you know, after she sees everything, she comes back and she calls me and she say, you know what, I want to be feeding these children every week. You know, I want to be feeding these children every week. And not posho, not beans, but chicken.
Wow.
Chicken, which is more of, you know, these children need
diet.
the protein. Those children don't need carbohydrates. They don't need starch. They need vegetables, protein, you know, milk, you know, cereal. So she's like, I'm going to be supplying chicken, 9 kilograms of chicken every week. Every week. So I was so humbled. And not only that, she said, I'm reaching out. This is what touched my heart. She said, I'm reaching out to my Indian community. She's an Indian in Uganda. So how many Ugandans can do that? How many Ugandans do we have back home who have resources, but they don't even know what to do?
What to do with them.
You know, so she reached out, and there are people who are coming on board. I'm going to be supplying rice. I'm going to be taking over the children's birthdays. Celebrate together. You know, these are the things these children don't get. And it's really very small. It's a small token of appreciation. You go, you know, make a cake, come and share with those children. And, you know, the parents are really devastated. You cannot even blame them. So if they trust us with those children, we have to do our part.
That
you know, we have to help them say, you know what, it is well. These children can live. These children are like other children. But if we really deny, you know, them also, what are we doing? The parents are going to just say, you know what, let me hide the baby. Let me hide my child behind, you know, the room, because they're desperate. So, you know, and she told me that, you know, Susan, you're in California, but you're changing someone's life in Uganda. So there's no excuse for us who are here,
who are already there,
not
to, just
to
say,
do. You know, so people can make any excuse, but there's no excuse when you're saving someone's life.
All right. That's a very powerful testimony, and I was so touched when I heard it. So everyone who's watching is please take a moment to share the page. I know this is going to go, it's so early for you guys to actually be online watching something like this program, but thank God for technology. We're going to replay this program and we are going to share it with everybody. But for those guys who are watching online, Karim Ntambi, thank you so much. You're doing your part. Thank you for being supportive. He's all the way in Washington DC, and I think you know him.
My friend.
Evelyn Namsoke, you have you are a mother here, you're a single mother here, but you have a child in Uganda, and I'm hoping this can be something of service to you. I know sometimes it's hard when you don't know if your child is going to be sick or child is going to be, but you're here and you're working hard. So for all the mothers who are out there watching, share this page with everyone you know who's a mother who, even if their child is healthy, but there must be a friend of theirs who's suffering in silence somewhere. So please share this page with everybody else so that we can get awareness, we can find out what we can do, the little part we can do as a church, as a community member. The little we can will go so far. I'm going to push this question to Lydia, because I know, officially on Sunday you're running for vice president for UNA, and it's such a big deal because right now, UNA is the biggest, it's the biggest entity we have. And women are going to change because women think way differently than men. We have so many, because we're here to nurture, so you have a different way.
I was talking to one guy yesterday when I was coming in, and he's African American. So he said, oh, where are you from? Uganda. Oh, I've been to Rwanda. Oh, I love Rwanda. And then he said a comment that the reason why Rwanda is the way it is, it's because of the women in leadership.
That's true. That is true. We have 13 women already in Congress.
There are more women in the parliament in Rwanda.
So we should We should. Women in power can do much.
So yes, this is a big issue, and it doesn't have to be just autism alone, right?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be, it can be young girls getting raped, even in the diaspora.
Totally.
It can be so many things that are happening to women here, to children here, to women in Uganda. And because UNA is such a big entity, but so far it has failed us. Everyone keeps saying it. I'm not going to deny it. Everyone keeps saying it. Totally. What is UNA going to do? What are you willing to or hoping to push UNA to do in regards to taking on these big issues? Because we don't have, as I was talking to her, we don't have an organization saying, I haven't had, maybe it's there and I haven't heard about it, which is also the problem. I don't have an organization say that we're being supported by UNA, taking care of, we're raising money from every state in America for this organization. I haven't had UNA come out to say, hey, let's do a community drive. Totally. Let's do, all I hear is, let's have a talk about immigration. And immigration is all well and good, but there's so many other things we need to talk about. So what are you hoping to change? What are you hoping to do in regards to fixing these problems and having the community come together to help out? Because Ugandans have the money. We do. We come here and hustle day and night. Of course. But we don't have anyone directing us to come and gwanga muje, kind of thing. What are you hoping to bring to the table when you get elected as vice president?
Thank you so much, Alex. I was not prepared to answer politics, but I'm always ready. I'm born ready.
Politics is entwined in everything that we do. So you might, because as a mother, as a lady, you gotta see how you're gonna answer this.
Of course, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. And rightfully so, just like you say that Ugandans are the most hardworking people we know. We are. We take that pride, right? And so many people want to give back. So many people want to be part of UNA. But I also want to say that, I don't want to say that UNA has failed 100%. There's so much that has been done. There's so many leaders who have stepped up and sacrificed without being paid for years, right? We're going into, that was 31st year. But for me, what I say, for me, what I know that I want to bring on the table, UNA has been like a 3-day event. 1 year, right? And what are we doing for the rest of these years?
Exactly.
This is something we want to change. We want to see how we can encourage our people, create programs. Forget about, you can't say forget about immigration. We have so many of our members in jail. Just because they don't have a lawyer to help them. Just because they didn't know where to go first when they came here. UNA would have been the first step for our people to go. There would have been a center already. There would have been a UNA office in one of right here in Waltham, right here in Boston, because we have more Ugandans here, right? We would have had we have so many scholars, we have so many doctors, right? We would use our own people as Ugandans to give back. Just like you said, we have so much money.
We have so much money to spend.
Susan wouldn't have flown from California to come here to Boston to have a dinner. These would have been events going on throughout the year.
And in different states.
We have in different states. We have so many good people who are doing so much, sacrificing their little money, but they don't know where to go. So UNA will be the best, right? We are talking about education policies, right? I'm not afraid of my story. My story is already out there. I've been in this country for 20 years. It has taken me 20 years to complete a degree that would have taken maybe 6 years.
Absolutely.
But because there was nobody to, I don't say there was nobody to hold me, but to take me to the right places. I just went because I wanted to be a doctor ever since I was a little girl. I signed up for classes without even thinking, being an international student, you're going to pay so much money. So if somebody told me, listen, they are first things first. So for me, I think UNA would be a great platform to create such resources, to empower the young Lydia who came here 20 years ago, to have that first step, to empower Susan with our organization and say, we are going to donate $10,000 so that you can help more children in Uganda. Look at our churches. How many churches do we have in Waltham?
We have a lot of churches coming up every day and night, and then every church has at least $100 saved up to volunteer in back in the community, and that could be a way to say, hey, UNA needs your help. Let's donate this money here. Every church, let's donate. There's so many great ideas, and I hope you can continue this drive. So tell us more. Sorry to cut you off. I was empowered in the moment. I was like, yes, let's do it. I'm sorry, but continue. Continue. We would love to hear that.
I think, and this is one of my vision is to actually encourage young people to join politics, to join leadership. We need new ideas.
Yeah.
We need new minds. We cannot just let those who have been in Muchintuchino to continue taking it.
That's the truth,
right?
yeah, because it's not changing. We need change.
Because I think we failed our people back home, us who are in the diaspora.
True.
You know, I always say that us who have been here, we're actually more privileged.
Right.
And we need to do whatever we can to give back to those we left behind. Right?
True.
We have people who are living here in the diaspora. We are talking about financial literacy.
Right.
People are making so much money, but they don't even know how to save their money. You know, people have thousands of dollars in their accounts. They can easily buy property, but nobody is there to tell them where to go.
That's true.
You
That's very
now
true.
would actually encourage and empower people by creating workshops for our people. You know, and also I believe that we people coming in the diaspora, immigrants, we have to literally shed off the old rituals, the old traditions, you know, things
And embrace,
of
yeah.
"Ebyomunju tebitotolwa," as in that statement for me. I know it's okay to keep our secrets at home and not talk about our troubles and burdens. For me, that's how I digest it. As a scientist, I love digesting words, but we don't know so much, so we don't even seek for help.
That's true. That's very
We
true.
have so much pride in us, right? Our people, we don't seek for greater heights, right? So we just do basic jobs.
Mediocre. We are just
living
we don't like to
mediocre
reach
lives,
higher than
right?
that. That's yeah.
Provided
And
I'm
when-
getting $1,000 a week,
Yeah.
I'm good. No, you're not. You could
And-
get more, and it's not about money. You know,
Yeah.
you could get another degree. You could
Right,
push yourself.
right.
You know, somebody's like, no, Sasoma, you are in America. But I think if we have a strong community,
A strong
people
community.
with actually a passion and a heart, like do something for somebody who will never pay you
Yeah.
back. Lydia, that's the mantra I live on.
Alright.
Do something for somebody who will never pay you back. If we can use, you know, we are 100,000 more Ugandans in the diaspora. What does that mean? Lydia, been blessed to do my own work with my nonprofit, you know, helping this hospital in Kome. As this one child, bringing clean water to a hospital and mortality rate going down by 75%. I'm talking about just water.
That's true.
You know, taking solar panels this year, that's an initiative I'm bringing to the hospital. Fully equipping the entire hospital with solar panels. Starting a farming project because patients don't have food.
Right.
Now I'm talking about home, what Susan is doing. But we have doctors here in America. We have nurses. And I know everybody, so many people are doing their great job out there. But what if we came together and sat together and started dreaming
and put
together,
politics aside.
right? And
Put
putting our
politics
resources, all of our
aside.
resources together. Politics aside,
Yes.
right? Because the UNA should not
Yes.
actually be political.
Exactly.
We should come in. I always say that there's something so wrong with the way we look at each other from Uganda. I think it starts, we are so tribal first.
It's been instilled.
We
and
are
even
not
if we deny
Ugandans
it, it's
first.
there. You never know. It's so. It's
We are not Ugandans first.
we
Yeah.
deny
You
it
know?
so much, but
Yes.
then you don't realize that you're doing it. But you have
Yeah.
been. It's an
Exactly.
invisible wall. Everyone
That's
has it. Everyone does
powerful.
it.
People don't know that they're doing it. They're denying it.
Because
they're
we grew
doing
up in
it.
that.
Yeah.
We grew up thinking like that.
We need
yeah.
to change this.
Yeah,
we need to
we need
debunk
to.
it. We need to look at each other as Ugandans first.
Yes.
The minute we get there, I wouldn't mind what tribe you come from. I wouldn't
Exactly.
mind
As
what
long
home
as
you
you're doing
grew up
something
from.
good for
I
everyone
wouldn't
else.
mind your economic class, you know.
Yes.
If we have that first, we will move mountains here in the diaspora.
I am hearing so many powerful words for everyone who's watching. Jojo Xavier, you're saying, well said, ladies. Solomon Kalde, you're watching. Menran Iaz is saying, amen. Praise the Lord. Bless you guys. Chiwumulo Rachel Peace, always for tuning in. Thank you so much. All you guys for watching. Chizito Joffrey, thank you. I know you are helping me plan Thanksgiving for tomorrow, but thank you so much for you guys. I do have a few questions that have been posed towards you guys, and I want you guys to just, whoever can answer it, because it can touch both sides.
Right.
What are you guys planning to do for the people who have, for even parents who have kids who are already having autism here? Ugandan, since we're already Ugandan, let's start with home and then work our way to all the other American, different other countries that are here. What are you planning to, how are you planning to sensitize the people who are here? I mean, we do have the good hospitals that are here. They can tell them what's happening. But as a community, how do we get those guys to come out from whatever shell they're in and come and say, hey, I want to talk about this in my church, in my community. What are you guys trying in North America? How do we get Ugandans to come out from wherever they are to talk about the issues they have and then have that spread over to Uganda?
I would answer that because I have a couple of parents here. You know, 2 of them are in New York, 3 of them are in California. They all have children with autism. And when they see what I do back home, they are very impressed. And that alone makes them come out and say, oh, wait a minute, Susan is doing this. How can we support? So it's so important for us to speak and to reach out and not to shy about it, because she might be there with the child, just quiet, yet she wants to make a difference, but she doesn't know how to do it. But if she sees Susan coming up and talking about, you know, autism, I'm doing ABC back home, then they're going to be open. I have the lady in New York, she has 4 children. And 2, I might say they are high functioning, and these ones are low functioning. But she's into education. She's pursuing her education in special needs children. And then after, she's planning to go home and also teach the parents. So we have so many people here who are willing, but how can we do it? So through me or other people, you reach out. You know, we have those children in my church in California. They come. You know, we mentor them, we love them, and we can really handle them. So it's until they see such things that they are open and they come out and talk about it. And I think it's even more better to talk about it than the so-called medicine, because there's no medicine. There is a new child they brought at my center. He was high functioning, he was fighting, he's 9-year-old, already on medication. But you know what, the last 2 weeks, they took him off medication. But you know why? Because he's in his environment. So parents are so desperate, they keep these children behind and give them all this medication they don't even know. You understand? So the mother is so happy. She can't believe that her son is off medicine for the last 2 weeks. Can you imagine that? So things we're doing, people, it's very, very important that we come together and listen to each other. What do you have? What do Lydia have? What do Susan have? And then we can take it to another level.
Now, I want to, because I want to be able to be of help to somebody out there. How we have been talking about autism and what it is because people have been knowing about it. Let's go back. Let's take a few steps back. You've had your child. Sometimes the signs are, you can tell the signs right at birth. The doctor will tell you. Or maybe let's talk about people in Africa. It would take a few months or a few years to manifest, and people will say, no, maybe this is happening, but it takes a while for it to manifest. How are you going to talk to a child and tell them, okay, how are you going to talk to a parent and say, look out for these signs? If your child is displaying these signs, you has had experience, or even Lydia, if you have been around those guys who are autistic, how do you notice the signs? What should we look for? Especially since it's in Africa, we don't have high-tech technology to go and tell you that this is this. What are the first signs a mother in the village is going to look for and say, my child might be having something like this?
Of course, it's going to be very hard for those in the village. But as we speak in Kampala, autism is big. And it's we who are in town that are going to take it outside. So after sensitizing the people in town, then we can go to the village. But here is the issue. Now that autism is common, you can tell a child at 2 years old. I have a young baby that I've been communicating to the mother. Definitely, you know, the baby can't sit straight. And the problem is in the spinal cord.
Spinal cord,
And then, you know, sometimes it affects the spinal cord, go to the brain, probably they get seizures. Or if not seizures, then there is a delay in speaking. So there are some signs that you would tell as a mother. First, number one is the delay in speech. That's automatic. You know, at 3 years, 2 years, if the baby cannot say mom, dada, then there is a problem. You know, so, and also there is an instinct about the mother. You know, you have your child and you're like, you know what, this child is different. Even if it's your firstborn, because you have other parents or other mothers, you see their children. So it's really, as we speak, we cannot say that we cannot know if this child has autism or not, because it's now everywhere. We have so many programs in Uganda, and I'm so glad that so many people are coming up.
Are picking it up,
You know, are coming up, are speaking about it. Like now, next month is a month of autism awareness. We are going
April 2nd.
April 2nd, we are putting a run for autism in Uganda. And this is where everybody's coming up and also speaking about it on TV, in the news. You know, I love it when people tell me, come and talk about it. It's even better than come, I give you money. Because I want to speak it so that you get to understand
what is happening.
Exactly. There's giving me money and you have not told me what I'm going to do. So give me, sit me down. When I spoke to those women, they said, we wish we had seen you 2 years ago. I didn't give them money, but the word of hope.
And just having them get stronger in faith every day.
I
And
told them these
it
children
works.
are okay. And indeed, they're fine. We just need to find the special skills they have.
And they're very intelligent. This is the thing. Autistic kids are more intelligent than the regular child, which is something. Because as I was watching this documentary, the gentleman they focused on one gentleman, or a child really. He had autism, but he had seizures that made it impossible for him to go to the bathroom properly. But he was very good as a mechanic. Everyone in the village kept wanting to bring him to fix a radio, but he's a child like everyone else. But he's so smart. And those are things that we're not focusing on. We're just focusing on, oh my God, it's a car. Oh my God, the mwana wanga right day. All the medical bills. And I'm so glad that you ladies have come out to talk about this, to enlighten people. And everyone who's watching us, I think they have managed to pick about something. Just know that I'm not just going to make money in America and just build a house. What am I going to do? At least to help out somebody else who's less fortunate than I am. And this is a question I want to pose to you, Lydia. You said you're in health.
Before you ask me, can I speak to the mother who has that child? And I think I'm not a mother yet, but I hope one day I will be. But I believe that there is a negative reality that comes to a mother when they give birth to such a child. But I want to tell that mother, whether they're here in the diaspora or back home in Uganda or anywhere, that it's okay. When you have such a child, first accept that child first.
That she is.
Without accepting that child, that's why all these other troubles happen. The minute you accept your child, that it's not that your child is abnormal, but your child is just different.
We've had
your child is just different. You don't
know.
They're just different. They live differently. They speak differently. It takes time for them to say the word that you easily say, or it takes time for them to do a task. They live differently. So if a mother can accept their child, living here in the diaspora, there's so many resources. There's so many centers a mother can go to. Now, to a mother in Uganda, in the deepest village, and I think this is the task that Susan has, we need to find a way to take this information to a mother in the deepest corner of the village. And this is what we are going to do. It's not literally using the English pamphlets, because living here in the diaspora, you see even when you go to Hispanic communities, they have information in English, but more in their language. So we need to interpret everything that's written in English and have those flyers and take them in the deepest corners of those villages and literally educate these mothers that it's okay. Your child is gifted actually. Seek for those gifts. And these kids, they're the greatest pianists in the world. They're the greatest artists in the world. They're the great, you talked about the mechanic boy.
They all have some syndrome of some sort. Everyone who's very, very intelligent. We are running out of time, but I do want you guys to share a little bit of information before we go. We do have people who are asking us, what is the name of your organization in Uganda and how can they support you? And also us who are in diaspora, how can they be able to reach out and support you? Before we go on, I'm going to ask my producer to show you those pictures again of the organization while she's describing those the organization to you, so that you guys can have a look of what she's doing in Uganda, what your work is going to do in case you guys decide to support. Those pictures are going to be playing and while she's talking to you guys, and we're going to have those names highlighted on the page, so you guys know the kind of information you need. So let's just describe that for a bit before we go off.
You can go on the website.
And what's the name?
And it's www.newlifefoundation.ngo.ug.
All right.
And you can donate anytime. You can reach out to me, as I would say that I'm so excited that we are moving into a bigger place. after
amazing.
2 years.
Amazing.
You know, and I'm working on actually taking autism speak in Uganda. I'm so excited.
Right.
As we're working on getting the curriculum for the children,
Yes.
I'm telling you, we are going to make a very, very big difference. So please join me, donate or support. You can support any child. You know, we have so many children there. You can say, you know what, I'm paying this, or I'm going to pay for the therapy, for the, you know, for the non-verbal, or I'm going to do to feed, you know, anything you can do. So please, you're welcome to donate, and go and read the website, get to know more about us. And also, we've gotten a bigger place, and we're going to need more help on that. You know, people are coming out, they are talking about supporting the, you know, with food, with drinks, with, we need a van actually, we need a van. We want to be transporting our children, not just to be in one place.
Yeah.
Take them to Jinja, take them to the beach. I mean, let them have a life.
All right.
Yeah.
And before we go off, I wanted to ask you a health question, since you're already in health and you're working alongside that. Health-wise, knowing that what you know now about autism, and as a Ugandan, what do you expect to do as your part? How do you think you're going to help regarding just this disease and even other diseases that we don't know about that are affecting Ugandan children, African children? You are trying to do something across the borders, like a Doctors of Borders kind of thing. But so how are you trying to give back in regards to that?
Thank you so much, Alex, for asking that question. I actually started my own nonprofit 3 years ago, and started out in health. And for me, I believe that starting from the hospital, my organization, the word is love a community. My theme is to build sustainable communities. But there's one thing to put a kid in school, but if that kid is sick, you're literally wasting your money.
Yep.
So we need to focus on health first. And rightfully so, you know, I got a physical when I came to this country. I was, you know, we don't have that. So I want to take the knowledge I've gained here and take it back. And what does that mean? Right now, Uganda's changed, Africa's changed. People are going to see doctors even before they get sick. You know, they take their annual checkups, but not everyone is doing that.
That's true.
So first, education matters. We need to sensitize our people of different diseases. We need to tell people it's okay if you have a disease. We are losing, beyond autism, we are losing so many of our family members to HIV/AIDS. AIDS should not kill anybody right now.
Right now, and
you know,
it shouldn't. But
people
now,
actually live a healthy life with AIDS, but because there's still a stigma. There's so many diseases that have a stigma. Autism has a stigma. That's why these kids are left in the back corner, right? They're not brought to, you know, they're not taken to school. You're talking about lame kids. They're kids who are just, they're lame. You know, that's a deformation overborn, you know, and they're left behind. They don't go to school. But just giving that kid a crutch to walk, or a wheelchair to be taken to school. So we need to educate our people. Sensitization is vital. And for me, that is one of my mission, you know, but also beyond telling them the diseases and saying it's okay if you have a disease, go get help. It's okay, go get help. You know, we have all these resources, but mostly I think it's a call to action for our people in the diaspora. If you're blessed to have this knowledge, you know, partner with Susan, partner with somebody who is on the front line back home. You know, come and join this movement. Think about Doctors Without Borders.
Yes.
Why would we, I'm so grateful that we have our American friends or European friends who go to our countries to help. What are we doing as Ugandans, we Africans in the diaspora? We need to take that mantle with everything we've been given, with all the resources we have, and go home and get our hands dirty and get our feet dirty and help our people.
That's such a powerful message, because there's so many Ugandans who board the plane every December. Like you guys, the 2 weeks you spend in Uganda, the 1 month you spend in Uganda.
Get your hands dirty.
3 days and say, you know what, I'm going to volunteer somewhere.
Get your
I'm
hands
going to be
dirty.
like,
and that's the movement I'm bringing in Yuna. That's the movement I'm
yes.
bringing in Yuna.
That's so powerful.
Let
yes.
us create. Let us take doctors back home. Let us take lawyers. Let
nurses.
us take
we have them so many. Yeah.
Let us take nurses. It's not even about health. Let us take teachers.
Our own nurses.
You know,
our own.
Our own. Yes.
Every skill, every talent we have. Okay, it's okay to go home and have party with your friends and family, but take 5 days away and go to your father's village and one of the other things that I'm passionate about is water. This, right? Even people who go back home cannot drink bottled water anymore because now there's this narrative that is actually not even clean. Bottled water back home.
Typhoid, it's the biggest right now. Uganda is the biggest issue right now.
I've done research with water going back to the 19th century with John Snow, the famous epidemiologist, who discovered cholera, that is a waterborne disease. Many thought it was an airborne disease. So we need to just clean water. 1 hour, 38 children are dying.
All right. Such amazing words from powerful ladies. You guys, we would love to continue this conversation, but as you know, we don't have that much time, and these ladies do also have a busy schedule. We are going to put all the information you guys need online. We're going to put her information for the organization. We're going to put where you can find her, how you can volunteer, how you can support, where to go to in Uganda to support, website where you can send or donate your money. We're going to have all this information all ready for you guys. We're going to post all those pictures so that you can see how the work is being managed in Uganda, what's happening, and also Lydia as well. I'm on her side, so I'm gonna call you guys to vote. All Ugandans in the diaspora. She's running for vice president for UNA. Let's create change. You guys have seen how. To be honest, UNA has all of us have been disappointed one or the other, but we're trying to create change the best we can, because at the end of the day, UNA is such a great idea. It's such a great platform for all of us to just do our own. So I'm supporting women, so I don't. I'm just pushing her to. If you guys can vote, go vote for her. I want to give you guys 1 second, each of you, to say something for the guys out there who are watching you, and then we can close the show. So Susan, let's start with you, and then we'll end with the.
Thank you so much, everyone who has tuned in. I am so humbled that you've been part of this, and let's continue to do what we do, change a life, change a community. And please, those who are in Boston here, we are having a dinner tonight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, please come and join us. We have different speakers. They are going to talk more about the coming Pan-African Conference on Autism. Two beautiful ladies from Nairobi, and you don't want to miss. And please come and support. We are planning to take those children to be part of that conference so that they can take the knowledge back home. So please support as you can, and also just come and we'll have dinner together and we'll continue sharing. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
All right, Lydia.
Thank you so much, our viewers. I'm so humbled to be here. This was an
I am so glad you actually came. You're like, come rain, come sunshine, come snow.
Yes.
I am stepping out, so I'm glad you came out.
Thank you for having. Thank you, Susan, for inviting me. Sweetheart. This woman is so humble. She's talking about me, but by the way, everyone in California and everyone who is watching, she is going to be our next president in California.
Oh wow!
She's coming too. So as much as she's calling out votes,
I'm coming here as a president.
You better come here as a president.
Her name is on the ballot, so Californians vote for Susan.
Oh my God!
Yes,
women I didn't want to say that, but
president.
Hey, I'm a Californian. I needed to do that.
So just so you know, I am the first to host these ladies on one platform. So, ladies, oh yeah!
Girl power.
Girl power. Let's wait for you to finish.
Yeah, I just had to pitch that. And Yuna, yes, I'm coming as your vice president. I'm working with a team of great leaders, and in Chicago we are coming. Labor Day weekend, and for me, this call to action for the young people, really, let us not be behind and let this thing taken by other people. Come on board, come and vote for me. It's not even about that. I want your votes, but I want to work alongside you in order to bring life, to bring empowerment in our community and the diaspora, and also help those who are left behind. So thank you, Alex.
Thank you so much, ladies, for all that you do, and continue to, inspire us to reach for greater heights. As Ugandans, we need somebody to look up to, and someone who's willing to be as ambitious. So it's good to have you ladies in the studio. Thank you so much. Coming up, we do have Divine Moments of Great Substance. We do have a very wonderful, young, intelligent guest. So you guys don't go away. Please bring somebody to watch with you. It's going to be hosted by our in-house pastor for Fireplace Church, Pastor Joel Tampa. So you guys don't go anywhere. We also do have a program that I'm hosting later on about a lady who, again, this is a month for children, and I'm bringing just guests, and my other co-hosts are bringing guests who are bringing activities for all your kids. I do have a lady who's coming in who's going to be on conference call from the UK, and she writes songs for children and books for children, and they have an app out for you guys guys. So guys, don't go away. Continue watching Live MTV Live. We have so many things coming up for you, and continue to support Campfire TV. So I've been your host for the day, evening, hour. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.